tonight. Won't fall below about 32 degrees. We'll be 34 at 9 p.m. Maybe a light mix of some rain and snow showers. 33 at midnight. Tomorrow morning, we're sitting around 32, 33 degrees. So yes, from Grand Rapids up to the north especially, there could be some slippery spots tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of very light freezing drizzle or freezing rain where the areas fall to just below 32, especially in the outlying areas. That's a possibility. I don't think it's going to become problematic as temperatures should stay at or 32. But some of those outlying areas, maybe not so much. We'll see what's in store then as we go through the rest of the weekend and into the beginning of next week coming up in just a few minutes, Janice.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Grand Rapids police investigating after a man was found dead outside a home this afternoon. The body was discovered at a home off Broadway Avenue just south of Leonard Street. Police believe the 62-year-old may have accidentally slipped and fell, but they don't know that for sure yet. It's also unclear how long he was outside. Autopsy results are still pending.
Meanwhile, one man has surrendered to Michigan State Police after a standoff that lasted for hours today. Troopers sent to the home on Miller Road north of Muskrat Road near Greenville just before 9 this morning. State police say the man was wanted for taking a weapon into a prison and home invasion. Once he saw police, he barricaded himself inside, indicating that he may try to hurt himself or the troopers that were outside. The 47-year-old Ionia man eventually gave himself up around 4 o'clock this afternoon peacefully. This man, Alfonso Mercado, meanwhile accused of ramming an Ottawa County Sheriff's deputy's cruiser and formally charged today, facing felonious assaults, fleeing police, resisting an officer, and malicious destruction of police property. Authorities say the 60-year-old man from Holland Township pulled up next to a deputy earlier this week who was stopped at a red light, put his car in reverse, then rammed into the cruiser. He was arrested after a short chase. Authorities say Mercado admitted to intentionally slamming the vehicle after becoming upset with another deputy earlier in the day.
Governor Whitmer is ordering all flags to be lowered to honor the life of a young soldier who leaves behind a wife and an unborn child.
His family says he died in Virginia on active duty, but has roots in Paw Paw. That's where we find Fox 17's Lauren Edwards after speaking with that family today. Lauren?
Yeah, Derek and Janice, one of those lowered flags behind me here in downtown Paw Paw. We spoke with, Army Specialist, I'm for spacing out on his name, I don't mean to, but Army Specialist Bradley Walsh. We spoke with his sister earlier today, and she tells us that the family right now is definitely grieving. And she says that, she didn't want to be shown on camera, but she wants him to be remembered for the special person that he was.
Brad was a wonderful individual. He was a particularly caring individual who had great loyalty to his friends.
Prepare to fire! Move!
Many of Army Specialist Bradley Walsh's friends and family honoring his life Thursday morning at the First Baptist Church in Paw Paw.
If he met you, you were his best friend within an hour, but if you had a long-term relationship with him, he had, incredible loyalty.
His older sister, who did not want to be identified on camera, says they shared a biological mother who died when Walsh was very young. He was raised by his adopted family.
So it was wonderful for the first time to really have those two halves of his life together to honor him, as well as the military, who was very warm, very committed to being here.
Congressman Fred Upton says when he found out about the soldier's death, he rearranged his morning schedule to be at the funeral and pay his respects to the family.
It's a tragic loss, family all over the state. Governor was correct in lowering the flags at half-mast today.
His sister says he leaves behind his wife, who was expecting their first child. Bradley died on active duty in Virginia, where he was stationed. Many
of his fellow unit members were able to be here today, and they're also going to be doing a memorial for him at his unit in Virginia.
She says there and locally, Walsh will be remembered as a hero, a person who encouraged others to serve with love.
Brad would tell people to love fiercely and deeply, to not take time for granted, and to be extremely kind to each other.
And those are great words right there, remembering the soldier that he was, and Governor Whitmer also requiring that all those flags be lowered in his honor. And when I asked the sister just about the cause of death, she says she can't speak on that right now, but she did confirm that the military is investigating it. Reporting live here in Paw Paw, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you for that. Meanwhile, day 2 of testimony has ended in the trial of a father charged with killing his own infant daughter.
Police say Seth Welch and his wife Tatiana neglected the girl to the point that she starved. Darren Cunningham is live in studio after hearing testimony from their family and friends today. Darren?
Hey, Janice, Derek. During an interrogation, detectives seemed offended by Seth Welch's nonchalance of Mary Welch's death. Seth Welch said natural selection is a part of life. Today, the prosecution focused on Welch's decision not to get his daughter medical help, despite being just 8 pounds, the size of a newborn, at the time of her death. She was 10 months old. Now, in an interrogation video, Welch explained to detectives that Mary was skinny from the day she was born and says he did not trust medical professionals, so he and his wife chose not to get her medical care.
Strong disbelief in the medical system due to the malpractice and all the death it caused. But I guess that's as close as we'll probably get to understanding it. Unless there's something I'm missing.
No, you think you've done anything wrong? Well, like I said, there are certainly some things that I would do differently in hindsight. Nothing is keeping me up at night.
And if you didn't hear the question, the detective had asked if he thought he had done anything wrong. So there was a long pause before he finally answered and said nothing has been keeping him up at night that he. Yeah. So the police say that Mary was unattended for at least 19 hours. The defense says that the Welch family was struggling to make ends meet and that they were overwhelmed. Welch faces life in prison if convicted. Testimony is expected to resume again tomorrow morning. Live in the studio this evening, Darren Cunningham, Fox 17 News.
All right, difficult to hear indeed. Thank you, Darren. A West Michigan Elementary School, meanwhile, closed for the time being after some 90 students called in sick.
Officials are monitoring that situation closely as the flu spreads like wildfire. West Elementary in Holland is closed until Monday as staff work to clean the building and work with the health department to find the best course of action here. School officials say sick calls are noticeably higher than usual throughout the district, but nothing in comparison to West Elementary. It's impacting teachers, too. Now, those forced days off may mean a longer school year.
Calling off school is not an easy decision. If we do go past the number of allotted days for snow days, we will have to make days up, especially here at West, because now they'll have 2 days beyond that snow. But that's only if we have those snow cancellation days.
Parents are encouraged to talk to your kids about covering their mouths when coughing or sneezing and keep them away from other children when they're sick. Still ahead here, it's far from your average hairstyle.
Yeah, this go around, it is doing some good. Coming up, how this rat tail is helping a complicated pregnancy go a little smoother.
And here's a live shot from downtown Holland and Centennial Park. You can see almost the fresh snow that's on the ground there. We're still going to maintain the chance of some light snow or rain showers over about the next 48-hour period. We'll track that out and let you know what we're thinking as far as precip amounts and have your West Michigan forecast coming up next.
You're watching Fox 17 News at 6 with Derek Francis, Janice Allen, Kevin Craig, and Jason Hutton.
Welcome back. You might know the rat tail as a questionable hairstyle that's well past its prime.
Yeah, but one man at a West Michigan marketing company has been growing one for a year now, but it is for good reason. Our Michael Martin explains how it's helping with a complicated pregnancy.
I don't think he'd admit to this, but I think he got himself in a position of showing it off there, and it was kind of motivating him to grow it a little bit further.
Ryan Wagonmaker has been working with his company for about a year and a half.
Yeah, I love working at Duran.
And for about a year of that time, he's been growing this, a rat tail. His coworkers at first weren't exactly crazy about it.
I gave him some slack for it quite a few times. It's not pretty to look at.
Thankfully, they kept me employed here with this whole situation.
Yes, it all started as a sort of joke.
Sitting right over that way. Yep, that's when it was born. People started making bets on how long I'd keep it, and it just kind of caught on, and yeah, I've kept it ever since. And that was February 21st of last year when I started it.
But it's become something else entirely after coworker David Hawk and his wife Sam found out their baby was going to be born with multiple heart defects.
Just kind of threw a wrench into our plans a little bit. You know, we had anticipated something different. It's kind of just life. And unfortunately, it's put us kind of in a financial bind.
Their delivery date? February 21st, a year to the day from when Ryan started sprouting that tail.
It just seemed like a no-brainer to tie it all together. So we made like an incentive that whoever donates the most gets the honor to cut it off.
And so the donations started scurrying in, raising money for a young family in need and having a good time doing it.
At the end of the day, it's supporting a great cause, which is what is the most cool part about it.
Shout out to Ryan and his rat tail. I never thought I'd say that, but thank you very much for donating it towards a cause that means something.
In Grand Rapids, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
Welcome to a Thursday, everybody. As we look out over the city of Grand Rapids, it's generally quiet out there. There may be some light rain or snow showers through tonight into tomorrow morning. Could be some patchy freezing drizzle or light freezing rain for areas that drop under 32. I think a lot of us will probably stay at the 32 mark or above. So I'm not looking for that to become a widespread problem. I think the outer locations, we may see that outside.